In this video, I am going to attempt to repair one of the biggest problems with my Land Rover. It has cursed me since I bought this, and that is that my manual key, my emergency key, does not work. So the problem with this is this key only works halfway. So I'm going to use my Leatherman and the key because it's not in the fob, just for this demonstration. But when I put this in the door, I'll turn it counterclockwise to lock the door, and you can hear it. All the doors lock, so it works to lock the door, no problem. But what you really need is for it to unlock the door. So when I turn the key the other way, nothing happens. And so that's a huge problem. And what I think is happening is there's a little cable that goes from this lock, this key lock here, to the actual locking mechanism. And I think that it is binding in there. So when I turn the key to unlock, it's pulling on the cable. So it's not having any issue. It's doing something like this. So it'll lock the door. But when I'm turning it the other way to unlock the cable, it's pushing on the cable. And I think the cable is just doing this. So it's not getting all the way to the end and doing what I need it to do. So I have ordered a replacement cable. There's the part number if you're doing this by yourself. And I need to put this in the door. So it's a complete disassembly of the door, which I've never done. Now, to do this, I watched a great series of videos, and I'll link in the description of this video that series, because I'm not sure we're going to get into every single nut and bolt of how to do this, but you can watch those videos to see how I learned how to do it. It's a fantastic series. It's 3 videos that show you step by step how to do exactly what I'm about to do. One of the things that's really important to do before you start ripping things apart is to lower the window by about a hand width, something like that. Because once you take this panel out, the controls to raise and lower the window are going to be disconnected. And so make sure you do that. Don't forget, because when you go to take the window out, you need to have some space in there. Let's review all the screws. There's one right here. There's a little cap that you have to take off right there. There is one beneath the handle right there. You've got a little cap that you need to take off. There are 2 on each side of this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's 2 at the bottom. One over there and one right here. And so all those have been removed. Now we're ready to pull this off, and it just pops off like that. Okay, the whole door is now off of there. So inside there are a bunch of electrical connections I need to disconnect. So let me get to that right now. Taking the last cable off, and there you have it. The entire door panel is out. Next thing is the speaker has to come out. The speaker is out. I just removed that. It's just 4 screws. Now, once that's out, you can reach inside the door. There are 2 clips in here that clip onto the window. So what you have to do is reach back inside, push on that, and then somebody else needs to be pulling the window up. So it's this clink, clink, and then this can lift out. There is a guide bar in here, and there's one bolt right here that holds that guide bar in. You have to remove that so you can twist the window. So I'll do that. While I'm waiting for my sister, she's out getting some lunch, I went ahead and pulled out the key core. I'm not sure what you call this, but this right here, this is where the key goes in. To get this lock core out of the door, there's a screw. See if you can see it there. There's a screw, and you get to it from this side. There's a little hole. I don't think you can see it. But when you unscrew that, don't unscrew it all the way. Just far enough that you can pull this out. So just keep unscrewing it a tiny bit by a tiny bit, and then this will come out. And then what you can do is you can put that screw back in there. If you don't do that, this screw that's in there is going to fall to the bottom of the door, and then you'll have all kinds of problems. So be really careful when you're working on this part not to back that screw all the way out. Just enough, you can just pull this straight out, and you have your lock core right in your hands. Just checking to make sure this part is functioning properly, and it is. You can see with the key in there, I can turn this no problem at all, just using my hand. So this is not the issue. It's the connection from this to the electronic, the mechanical part. So still hoping that it's just the cable. We'll find out. I have pulled the handle out now, and then I need to take this little guy off here. It's got some little connectors there. Bonk. And then this is gonna all come out here in a second. My sister's back there. Say hi.
Hi.
It's Dawn. She's gonna hold the window, and I'm gonna undo these clips. We're gonna try to lift it out. And I've never done this before. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, I am gonna go first one. Okay, we're gonna do this side, so lift just slightly. Okay, there's one. And then this one, lift slightly. Okay, it's loose. Hold on to it. Oh, there it goes, there it goes.
Good deal.
Woohoo! This is now unbolted, and so it should go in. Should go in. Ow! Ouch! It does go in. Push gently. And then there's a trick to getting it out, which is you have to do this really strange rotation here. This, by the way, is in that video I linked. Okay. Not sure it should be grinding like this, but hopefully I haven't broken anything. Come on. It's caught on the bar, the guide bar. There it goes. It's out. It's out. All right, that's what makes the window go up and down. That's out of there. And now, the only thing that's left is the actual latch mechanism and the cables that go to the lock. So that's what we're gonna do now. Take all that stuff out. The next thing I need to do is get this mechanism out of the door. There's a little tab here, so Don's gonna film that for me. Let's get a close-up on that. I'm just gonna take a pair of pliers, a Leatherman here, grab onto this and give it a tug, and it should pop out. Come on. All right, we swapped out the pliers for vice grips. There we go. Now that pops right out, and we have that. Okay, we're gonna push, there's two little tabs. You keep filming that. We're gonna push these in like that. That whole thing comes loose. Now that whole thing will come out from the inside, which is pretty good. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3 more bolts. Yank those out, the whole thing will come out. These are T40 nuts, so I've just got a Torx bit in my ratchet. It's time to take this whole thing out of the door. Okay, there is an electrical connection on here. That pops off. And another one here. Okay. And then a little clip there. And it is out. Okay, the cable that is broken, I think. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. See how that is all broken? That shouldn't be like that at all. This is the old cable here. So what should happen, if I can get this to focus, is when you move the key, it moves one end of the cable, and then that should move the other end. Pull, it will pull. Pull, yes. Push, nothing's happening. So that's been replaced. You can see that now there's the new cable there. This is where the key, this is what the key moves. So now you can see both directions. It's moving as it should. So that should fix the problem, which is great. Just got to put everything back together. So far I've reversed the process, just put everything back. So the external door handle, the key lock, the motor and everything, that's all put back together. Now it's time to put the window back in. This I think is the most difficult part. Don's back here to help. And we got the window. So we're trying to get these clips at the bottom to click in to the window without twisting this so much that it shatters. Okay. Okay, it is now time to put the door panel back on. See if I can get that. Hardest part about this are all the electrical connections. So they're a bunch of little plugs and stuff. And then there are clips along the top that just line up to this. And then these little guys here that just pow. So let's do it. Let's see if we can get it done. All right, well, the door is put back together. Everything is working. The window rolls up and down. Everything is functional. I've tested it all. I just did everything in reverse that I did to start with. So now let me show you what happens. I have used this recovery key here to open the door. It's sort of weird. So if I lock the car, so I'm gonna lock the car with this guy. It is locked. I can now put the key in and unlock the car. But as soon as I do that and open the door, the alarm goes off because now this is a manual release. So the cable is manually unlocking the car. And so the car still thinks it's locked. So when you open the door, the alarm goes off. So that's not such a bad deal if your fob is working. You just turn off the car. I'll take that over not being able to get in my car any day. But let's try it. So car is locked. I'm going to turn the key now. It is unlocked. And there we go. So because the fob was close to the car, it worked. It works! So now I no longer have to worry about if the fob dies. I can still get into the car with my key. I can use this. Everything is working. Finally, it's functional. If my battery dies or whatever, I can get into the car. Success! So again, if you want to know all the different steps that I took to get in, take this door panel off, get to the release and the lock barrel, all that stuff. I learned how to do that by watching a series of videos. I have linked to those videos in the description of this video. And now that that's done, there's one more thing I need to do to fully recover from the big wave of Mexico, and that is to replace a few cameras. So we're going to do that in the next video.